Everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful necklace from gold color stainless steel. Beautiful stainless steel pendant with some white and blue enamel, and create a design that will be absolutely gorgeous to wear in your next for your next summer trip throughout the spring and the entire summer season, but also will genuinely match most outfits that we wear throughout the year due to this beautiful and harmonious color combination of gold, white, and turquoise. The chain that I decided to use for this project has a very beautiful design with ornaments that resemble sun or flower, depending how you see it. It's not something that you see every day, and I think it's quite eye-catching yet delicate. And this beautiful pendant does play with the theme of the evil eye that's so well known around the Mediterranean, especially the Eastern Mediterranean. So in essence, that's a bit of a protection or talisman necklace, if you wish, with some romantic elements in the case of this sun or flower ornaments here. The design that we'll use for this necklace is we'll place the necklace, we'll separate it into equal parts that will be placed on the two sides of a jump ring, a thicker jump ring, and then the pendant itself, with the help of a smaller jump ring, will be installed on the first one here. And the reason for choosing to approach it in this way is because the chain, the major parts here, the ones that resemble the sun disk or a flower, the interlinks are quite thin. So it hanging what is a rather heavier pendant on this thin piece of a hoop here would be quite risky, and we don't know if it's strong enough to sustain the weight of the pendant. I don't think it is, honestly, and you don't want to risk your necklace to fall apart slowly shortly after you've crafted it. So to hedge against the risk of it breaking down, we'll just secure it through, as you can see, this thick jump ring. That's a design that I like to adopt overall for necklaces, regardless of these type of risks, because it does make it does create an artistic appearance or an artistic presentation of the pendant, and I think it genuinely creates a rather different touch than what you would usually see in most necklaces. The process of crafting here, or the steps that we will be following, are quite simple. We'll first separate the chain into two equal parts. We'll then attach these two parts to the bigger jump ring. We'll then attach the pendant to the necklace, and we'll create the closing mechanism that will consist of a lobster clasp and an extension chain, and of course two wider jump rings that I've already prepared here. And overall, that shouldn't be something that takes you too much time. That's a rather quick necklace to craft. So in total, I think you would need something between 15 minutes to half an hour. And ideally, you'll do this in daytime so that you see better. With that being said, that's enough of the preparatory part. Let's proceed with the execution. So usually for this type of standard length pendant necklaces, I like to work with each bit of the or each piece of the necklace being somewhere between 20 to 22 centimeters, depending on the chain structure. So in this case, we can go for 20. I think we can go for 21, even 22 slightly. So that's where we'll need to cut through to get the first half of the chain. We use our cutting pliers and gently press, and we have our first half of the necklace. We will then measure. I usually use this wrapping wire type of measuring device for determining the matching piece, and in this case we have a chain that's quite symmetrical, so it's of good quality, so it's easy to determine how much we need to measure out of the overall chain and cut through. And with the help of my device, I know that this is here, so I'll cut through this thin loop as well. Okay, and I'll put away the remainder of the chain to use in other projects. And now you see we already have the two parts of our necklace. We'll measure again just to make sure that we are on the safe side, and yes, we are. Now we do need our pliers to open the jump ring. See, we open the jump ring and we install the two pieces of the chain right after each other. So it's safe to close it. We check to ensure that there are no gaps, and no, there aren't any. And let me stretch the chain to show you how it would look like. So this is the main part of the necklace, and this jump ring is where we will be installing the pendant. So to do this, we take a smaller size jump ring, but it's important to ensure that this jump ring is not made of a thin material. It should be small but thick as well to support the weight of the pendant, because this one is on the heavier end. I can feel it in between my fingers. I can feel that it's not hollow, it's quite heavy, so it's important for it to have good support. And I'll close it here. Now to connect them, we will need another small jump ring, otherwise it will not hang properly, but will turn to the side. So I'll keep the small jump ring open. I'll put the pendant, and I'll push through the necklace as well. I may need to open this one a bit more. Now I need to open it a bit more. it's enough. So I close. Okay, we heard a nice little click, which means that it's closed securely and there are no gaps. And our finished pendant will look this way. Now what we could do alternatively is simply work without these two jump rings and attach the pendant to the thick jump ring, the initial one. I do think that this may be a more beautiful option, but I wanted to show you your options if you like it to be a bit longer visually to create an effective elongation. I hope you can see it this way. So you do have a choice here as to whether to leave it like that and basically have a necklace looking this way, or to skip through the smaller beads and directly attach the pendant to the main ring. In this case, I'll do both, so I'll detach the two smaller jump rings and attach the pendant directly through to the thicker one to show you both options. But again, it's really a matter of personal preference, so feel free to experiment. Now, I'll directly open the large one. I'll keep it open and then open the smaller end, the smaller one here. Oops, so okay, gravity did the work for me. So close the ring again. And this is how the necklace would look like now. You see it's a different type of look, so you can go for either. We'll remain with this one just so that you see both options, and because we used a longer piece of chain here, so we don't want it to become too long. And now that we are through with this milestone, we'll proceed with creating the necklace closing. The way we'll do this is we'll first install our lobster clasp by opening a jump ring, and the rule we follow on this channel is that the lobster clasp you install with the pointer towards you so that it matches the direction of the pendant. Okay, and we close. Okay, so this is the one end of the closing. The design of the other end will depend on whether or not you'd like to have an extension chain. I generally recommend having at least 3 to 4 centimeters of an extension chain so that you can always make sure that you can match a different neckline or vary the length. So in this case, I'll measure out around 3.5 centimeters of an extension chain, and you can go with a bigger or larger piece depending on what you think will be necessary. And to beautify our extension chain and not have it look like just a hanging piece of cable chain here, I'd like to use a small jump ring, so maybe one of the smaller ones that we were experimenting with before. Take a cream bead or any type of spacer. You may take a crystal bead, a seed bead, whatever you have available. Generally with this type of golden tone stainless steel, I do recommend to keep everything in the same look, so everything remains in the golden tone stainless steel area, just so that it doesn't look like too much, and the variety is just and the variation is just one of geometry, but not in color or shape. And you see now it looks more finished and it looks more sophisticated. So now that we have this ready extension chain, we are going to install it together with the other end of the necklace on the second closer jump ring. So that's the extension chain, that's the part of the main necklace, and we close it again. We hear a nice little click, which indicates that there is no gap. We put the pliers back on our work table and we test the closing. You see how beautifully it looks, and this is our overall necklace. This is how it would look. And depending on your preference, of course, you can work with a lesser amount of the chain, or you can just enjoy it as we've produced it today. You can offer it as a gift, wear it proudly next time you're out or on your next trip. And in either case, be happy that you've been creative and found a way to create yet another piece of beautiful jewelry for yourself and others. Thank you for stepping by. If you do have any requests, questions, if you have any project ideas that you'd like to see on this channel, do let me know. Also comment on what you liked best, or if you have more and the need to have a bit of a slower, more detailed guidance. Whatever you feel is needed in addition to this video, do let me know in the comments. And in the meantime, I thank you for stepping by, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye!